whilst knocking down a wall on a building site. This man stumbled upon several bags of US dollars. He instantly realized he was about to strike it rich, but just as he was pondering how to get the money out of there, a fellow worker suddenly reminded him that it was time to clock off. Fearing someone might discover the cash, he hurriedly shut the cupboard door. Then, feigning calm, he left work with his colleagues, but the building was due to be demolished by controlled demolition in 2 hours' time. He had no intention of letting this chance to strike it rich slip away. So, once everyone had gone home, he sneaked back into the building through a side entrance, hurried to the spot where he'd found the money, and overcome with excitement quickly pulled the bags out of the cupboard. Sure enough, they were stuffed full of banknotes. Overwhelmed with excitement, he quickly hid nearby. He roughly counted the 3 bags and found they contained $3 million US. In an instant, he realized he would never have to work again. Little did he know that this money would bring him nothing but disaster. Just as he was basking in his joy, suddenly there was a sound of someone banging on the wall. So he poked his head out to investigate and saw someone hitting the wall with a stick. Clearly the intruder was also there for the money. So to avoid being spotted, Jack slipped quietly past the man from behind while he wasn't looking. But just as Jack was about to head downstairs to escape, he noticed someone else coming up the stairs. Seeing this, Jack panicked instantly. With no other choice, he hurried back the way he'd come. But in his nervous haste, he accidentally knocked over a lamp on the floor. The piercing sound instantly drew everyone's attention. Fearing the money might be discovered, Jack hurriedly found a corner to hide the cash. But just then a man with a gun came chasing after him. Fortunately, Jack managed to duck out of the way in time, and so went undetected. But then he suddenly noticed that the man from earlier was also hiding behind the curtains. So after locking eyes, neither dared to make a sound. Fortunately, John didn't spot them, although Jack managed to evade them for a while. His workmate was not so lucky. He was immediately seized by the armed gangsters, who assumed he had taken the money, but the workmate knew nothing of it. Seeing that he refused to reveal the whereabouts of the banknotes, the gangsters had no choice but to ruthlessly kill him. This was more than Jack could bear to watch.
There.
8th floor.
Yeah, go. Take front, I'll cut him off.
Watching a group of gangsters chase after him upstairs, Jack had intended to grab the cash and make a quick getaway. But when he thought of his colleague being killed because of him, a mad decision surged through him. So when one of the gangsters came upstairs, he kicked the weapon out of his hand, and with a final kick sent him tumbling into the lift. Although he dealt with the man in front of him, another pursuer came running up. Fortunately, Jack was still able to fight, but he'd barely thrown a few punches. Before a gun was pointed at his head, the woman then demanded he reveal where he'd hidden the money. Jack had no choice but to pretend to fetch it. The next second, and so Jack made his way down the pipe to the ground floor. But just as he was about to stand up, he was suddenly taken hostage by the man from before. Then the two of them started fighting.
I got him.
Together they took care of John. Then they rushed back upstairs, but unexpectedly the woman gave chase. Fortunately, Billy arrived just in time. At that moment, the boss downstairs spotted a figure upstairs and opened fire immediately. It was only when he saw a woman falling that he realized he had mistakenly killed his girlfriend. However, it was precisely because of this that Jack and Billy were given a chance to catch their breath. Billy said he used to be a prison guard, but because his daughter had cancer, he now urgently needed $800,000 for her surgery. When an inmate in the prison mentioned that a stash of stolen money was hidden in the building, Billy went inside to search for it. Little did he know that the gangsters were also on the hunt. Kind-hearted Jack, upon hearing that Billy only needed $800,000, took him straight to the hiding place and tossed $1 million his way. Billy intended to make a quick getaway with the money, but he didn't realize the gangsters were already closing in.